Hi guys, welcome you here to our appreciate you being able to get together and make a decision on this issue. The issue is that here at the group home, we've got produce. We need to take it to the farmer's market, but there's two equally attractive options. One is the Antigo Farmers Market, and one is the Merrill Farmers Market. So having been around you guys for a while, I know each one of your preference. What if we just go right into a brainstorming session and get some ideas out and trying to shed light on which might, since we're split down the middle, half of us want to go to Antigo, half of us want to go to Merrill, get some data out on the table and figure out which indeed is the best one for everybody concerned. Now, you all know each other, and so why don't we just start with, we'll go clockwise. David, what is your preference? What things come to your mind? Before we brainstorm, let's get, I'll regroup here. Before we brainstorm, let's get just let's get your vote out.
Yeah, the two choices again, my friend, were Merrill or Antigo. All right. Well, I would ask a few questions first. My first question, I won't give all my questions at this point, but I'll give one. One would be, I'd like to look at the number of people that actually go to each of the markets. We want to make sure we have a good flow of people through the market. So the number of people that attend, I think, is an important consideration.
Good thought. My personal experience is the Antigo one is about twice, appears to be about twice the size. I don't know the exact numbers. Anybody else have anything to add into that? That's a good idea. Brandon, what comes to your mind when you weigh which would be better, the Antigo market or the Merrill market?
Well, although I do lean toward the Antigo market just simply for that reason that there is more traffic through it. I know that different markets have different guidelines and things, and I would wonder, sometimes you go to markets and there's a lot of different stands that'll accept either the food stamp tokens or the WIC tokens. I would wonder, which of those might participate in that program, because, then you're reaching an audience that you might not otherwise, get to sell your produce to.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Good. I hadn't thought of those things. All right. So, good thoughts. All right, Matt, where do you come down?
Well, I'm leaning towards the Merrill market, and the Merrill market, while it might be smaller, it also has fewer vendors, and so it may be something where with fewer vendors we would fill a niche there as an additional vendor. It'd be interesting to see the statistics of the number of vendors compared to the number of customers at each market.
Okay. Well, since we don't have those numbers, we don't have exact population numbers, we will still strive to come up with a plan B for the first one, for the first meeting. Let me just review those three concerns, or those three observations. One is size. We know Antigo is bigger, but it may not matter. We know that there's a large population out there who are trying to improve their diet. They're on maybe food stamps. And how accessible is either one of those? Would our product be to either one of those? And then number three, the supply side. If there's more vendors at Antigo, well then, what about going to Merrill, where there might be less supply, greater demand. So, good. All right, one more little group exercise I'd like to go through here before we make a quick decision. Let's brainstorm on the pluses and minuses of each. For the next few minutes, we're going to just rattle off pluses and minuses off the top of our head, just blurting them out as they come to mind. We're going to record each idea along the way, no matter how big or how small, without stopping right away to look at any one of them. And we're going to freewheel, feed off each other's suggestions, and see if the next minute we can generate a pool of ideas which will help us make a decision. Okay. So let's go. Antigo is farther away. We're in Gleason. Antigo's a little farther away. It's a prettier drive.
Antigo may have more farmers. It just seems to me perhaps it has more farmers in the general area, and therefore may have more produce there. Not sure of this. Whereas Merrill may not have as much produce available for sale. It might be a more prudent place to sell ours. Just a thought.
I suspect that the Merrill population craves locally grown produce more than the Antigo area.
And speaking of that population, the population of the Merrill area itself, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it higher than Antigo? Isn't the Merrill a larger area?
I don't know
Well,
for sure.
I think it is. If it's in itself is maybe not, but it's closer to other large areas. It's only 15 minutes from Wausau and so on. Bigger, potentially a good demand due to that. Yeah.
Plus, the quality of our kale and parsnips is such that I feel that we could probably take over some of the market share at either of these flea markets. So let's keep that in mind. The quality of our produce is par none, par excellence.
Good point. All right. Well, the Merrill one starts an hour later than it'd be easier for me to get to.
What are the entire hours of each? Is one market open longer than the other one?
One is from 6 to 12. One is from 7 to 12, I think. And the Merrill one is from 7 to 12. Well, that's what we needed to know. So, good.
Are there any other regulations at either market where we would maybe not be in compliance? Bring your own table, easy up covers.
Good thought.
Everything
Yeah.
is, there's no other regulations that would hamper us from selling at one versus the other.
Right. Something else for me to look into. Now, a lot for me to quickly look into. We'll maybe just we'll try one this next week, and then we'll since there's two, we'll give each a equal share. Well, that's good. Let me see what I missed here. Okay, well, all right, since it's up to us, why don't we take a quick a quick vote, and that'll at least give us some bearing on what if one side selects, if one town wins, that goes a long way to solving a lot of problems. So I'll vote for my choice is for Antigo. David?
I'm going to vote for Merrill.
Okay. All right. Brandon?
Well, I originally liked the idea of Antigo, but some of the arguments that have been made have swayed me toward the Merrill side of things.
Very good. All right. Matt, what's your preference?
I would support the Merrill market at this point, and if we have too much produce left over each week, then we maybe should consider a change.
Excellent. All right, that gives us a way to begin, and I'll maybe, since I like Anago slightly more than Merrill, I guess it's up to me to crunch these numbers here and get back and make a stronger argument for Anago in the future. But looks like we'll go to how, is our time up? Okay. Thanks for your input. And
Welcome.
all right.
You're welcome.